Hi, friends. Happy Monday. Monroe, can you say hi, friends? Hi, friends. Okay, we are going to have story time, and today's book is called Hiawatha's Kind Heart. Okay? All right, let's get started. It was a big day in the Indian town where little Hiawatha lived. The Braves were going on a great hunt. I wish I could hunt with the Braves, Hiawatha said. It is hard to be a brave, said the chief. You must be able to live alone in the forest. You must be able to hunt for your food. Hiawatha nodded, then walked quietly into his tent. Our dogs are barking. Tell the dog, say shh, shh, shh. I could do all that, thought Hiawatha. I will show the chief that I am ready to be a brave. So Hiawatha got his bow and arrows. Then he went outside. Where are you going, little Hiawatha? His mother asked. I'm going into the forest. I will learn to be a brave, he said. I can find my own food. I will show the chief that I can be a great hunter. Hiawatha paddled his small canoe across a deep lake. On the far side of the lake was a big forest. That looks like a good place to hunt, he thought. He paddled his canoe to the shore. There he saw a deer. How lucky I am, thought the little Hiawatha. Not every brave who hunts can find a deer so soon. Hiawatha fit an arrow to his bow. He aimed it at the deer. Just then the deer lifted his head. It looked straight at Hiawatha. Hiawatha looked back at the deer. He could not shoot. He put away his bow and arrow, and then he watched the deer run away. Hiawatha started walking through the forest. He began to feel a bit hungry. Soon he saw a mother quail and her 5 small round baby quails. They were walking toward a bush full of ripe red berries. A nice fat quail would taste very good, Hiawatha thought. He lifted his bow. He fit an arrow to it. Just then, the mother quail saw him. She called to her babies. She covered them with her wings. Hiawatha looked at the mother quail. How brave she was. He just could not shoot her. Without her, the baby quails would die. Squawk, squawk, Hiawatha heard from the berry bush. A father quail seemed to say that there were plenty of berries for all. So Hiawatha ate a few. Then he put some away to save for later. Little Hiawatha then went farther into the forest. Soon he heard the chatter of squirrels ahead. He saw a baby squirrel running up a tree. Hiawatha lifted his bow again. Just as he was about to shoot, he heard a rustling in the tree. He looked up. On a high branch, he saw a father and mother squirrel. They were afraid for their baby. Hiawatha threw down his bow and arrow and waved the squirrels to show them that he would not shoot their baby. The baby squirrel came down the tree. All 3 squirrels offered to share their nuts with Hiawatha. Both Hiawatha and the baby squirrel ate until they were full. Then Hiawatha put nuts away to save for later. The sun began to set. I had better find a place to sleep, Hiawatha thought. He snuggled between the big roots of a tree. The baby squirrel curled up beside him. They both went right to sleep. In the middle of the night, Hiawatha woke up. Rain was falling. Hiawatha was cold and wet. Suddenly he felt a wet nose pushing at his arm. There was a deer he had met at the lake. The deer led him to some leafy bushes. They curled up together under the heavy leaves. There they could stay warm and dry. When morning came, the rain had stopped. Hiawatha rubbed the sleep from his eyes. He waved goodbye to the deer and went on his way. Across the clearing, Hiawatha spotted a rabbit. It was hopping off into the bushes. Hiawatha went to follow it. Behind the bushes, he found another rabbit. This one had its foot caught in a trap. The first rabbit was trying to help. Hiawatha thought how good rabbit stew would taste. He aimed his bow at the rabbits. They turned to look at him. They were so afraid. Their whiskers shook. Hiawatha's eyes filled with tears. He could not shoot the rabbits. Instead, Hiawatha opened the trap. The rabbits were so happy. They danced around Hiawatha. Then they hopped away. Hiawatha followed them. But suddenly he stopped. Before him stood a busy old beaver. Hiawatha had always wanted a soft, warm beaver skin hat. The old beaver saw Hiawatha. He thought Hiawatha wanted to play. "I am too busy to play with you," he seemed to say. Well, Hiawatha could not shoot the busy beaver. He took out all his arrows. He broke every one of them across his knee. He threw away his bow for good. Then Hiawatha went to work. He pulled down the branches. He carried them to the river. Hiawatha helped the beavers build their dam. After a while, Hiawatha grew tired. He waved goodbye to his new friends. He walked slowly along the river. Then he stopped to eat berries from a giant bush. All at once, Hiawatha heard the warning call from the quail. His rabbit friends were pointing their ears toward the far side of the bush. There stood a great big bear. This was his berry bush. These were his berries. The bear growled. Then he jumped at Hiawatha. Hiawatha did not stop to think. He raced along the river. The bear was close behind him. The squirrels in the treetop threw nuts at the bear, but the bear did not stop. He kept running after Hiawatha. The beaver had heard the bear crashing through the forest. He chewed busily at a great big tree trunk. Then he waited until the bear ran by. As the bear passed, the beaver took one last bite of the tree trunk. With his tail, he gave it a push. Crash! It fell right on the mean old bear. Hiawatha was safe. He thanked all his forest friends. Then he ran all the way through the forest back to the lake. Little Hiawatha climbed into his canoe. Then he paddled home to the Indian town. He went as fast as his arms could paddle. His mother and the chief were waiting for him there. "How was the hunt?" they asked. Hiawatha told them how the forest animals had helped him and how they had become his friends. "You are very wise, my son," said the chief. "Every true brave knows that a kind heart is often better than a strong arm." And Hiawatha was proud of himself. At last, he'd become a true Indian brave. The end. That was a very nice story for Monday. All right, so we'll be back tomorrow for story time. Thank you for joining me. Monroe, do you want to say bye to my friends?
Bye.
Say bye, friends. Say bye, friends.
Bye.